Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex Toro here. So, you meet a girl, you have a great conversation, everything's going super well, you're like, this is gonna happen, and all of a sudden you ask for her phone number and she says, well, do you have Facebook? Do you have Instagram? Do you have Twitter? Do you have Snapchat? Blah, 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 right? So here are three ways that you can counteract that. Here are three ways that you can get to the phone number right then and there, right? So first and foremost, you have to understand most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, if she's saying that to you, it's probably because either she's not feeling it or, she has a boyfriend or you didn't give her enough, to go off of, or she just plain doesn't know you. You have to sort of look at your game and see if there's enough there for her to say, okay, let me give this guy my phone number. The higher value the woman, the hotter the woman, it's going to be harder to sort of get to that point. However, the first moment when you realize that, is when your game can become exponentially better. It is a sign that it's, maybe something went wrong in the conversation. She doesn't want to, give you her phone number right off the bat because she doesn't want you to text her a million times. So the first way that I'll sort of tease in that situation is, she'll say, I'll say, give me your number. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna talk about that. That skateboard thing or whatever it is, right? And then she'll come back and say, no, actually, do you have Instagram? Let's see if we can follow each other on Instagram. And I'll come back and say, Instagram, what is that? I've never heard of that before. Are you from the future? Can you let me know how the Dodgers are going to be next week? Because I'd like to bet on them. That'd be really great. And also, do they have flying cars in the future? If you say it with a smile on your face, it becomes a joke. It becomes something that just sort of alleviates the situation. Sometimes girls will be like, haha, you're funny. Okay, here's my number. Or she'll say she might flat out say, oh, I just don't know you. Or I don't give out my number on the first meeting, which by the way, it's totally okay. You could turn that into, getting her phone number. I've had many girls that I've met that I've got their Instagrams, not because I asked for their phone number, just because that's just the way it happened. And then, we ended up going out and having a great time, getting along and turning it into something. So, you have to kind of play along with it and just show that you're really not affected by it. You're not offended by it in any way. You're just going to sort of make a fun of the situation. Another way that you can, sort of tease on that is to say, oh, look, I'm only going to text you 14 times every minute. So, if you look at your phone, it's guaranteed to be a text from me. So, I'm just that type of guy. I like to be persistent. And by the way, my first text will be the most creative, most intriguing one. I just realize it is a joke. Sometimes she'll turn around and say, yeah, all right, fine, here's my number. Or, again, she'll say something along the lines of, I just don't know you 100%. I don't know you well enough. I don't give out my phone number on the first meeting. Number two, which is actually one of the ways that I do a little bit more than some of the other ways, is I actually will eject from the situation because I know deep down that either she's not emotionally available, she's not available at all, or she's just not open to the situation, or there wasn't enough chemistry for her. So for me, because I meet so many women so often, and because I'm talking to so many girls, because I'm going out with so many girls that, and in the given, week or whatever, for me, it's not worth investing in someone that much when they're just willing to give me their Instagram and not even their phone number. I know that they're not invested enough in it. It's going to take a lot more hard work for me to, get them out on a date or get to know them, or, even get them, sometimes I respond to a text. And so I would rather focus on somebody that's a little bit more, into it in that situation. This goes for Tinder too. If you're talking to a girl and you ask for a phone number and she says, well, let's just sort of keep it here for now, that doesn't mean that you can't ease into the phone number. It just means that, you have to get to know her a little bit better. So, in this situation for number two, I would just sort of eject. And I would even go so far as to look at her and be like, all right, forget it. And that's the thing, is once you pull out the rug out from under her and she looks at you and says, oh, all right, fine, okay, here's my phone number, or okay, here's my number, once you do that, it shows that you're a man of power. You're not a man that's going to be succumbed to the fact that she just doesn't want to give you her phone number. And the third way is to actually just take the Instagram or Facebook, become connected with her. By the way, Instagram and Facebook is an amazing, tremendous opportunity to show who you are, show what kind of guy you are, show what kind of lifestyle you have, and to see what kind of girl she is. If she, appears one way on the surface, and then you go on her Instagram and she appears, like a party girl, it becomes, a great deal of information for you. Now, I'm not saying judge somebody 100% just off their Instagram, but what I am saying is that it will give you a snapshot into their life and their lifestyle, and so you can make judgment based off what type of person they are. So if if you try some of the other ways and she ends up saying like, oh, Instagram or Facebook is the only method that's going to work for me, you can say, all right, fine. You know what? Let's do Instagram and Facebook. We'll be all 2019 with it. Sounds good. And then you can follow her, and then you can pick up something from her Instagram, pick up something from the Facebook, and then make a comment on it, or pick up something from the profile and make a comment on it, make it personal, relate it back to the conversation, and go from there. And then after you have the Instagram or Facebook, you can then transgress into setting up a date.